In the beginning, I thought, why me? Why this happened to me? Why couldn't this happen to all the thieves and all the killers and the murderers and stuff in the world? You know, why me? I never done anything bad. Well, I've done things bad, of course, but nothing very wrong and stuff. And I just kept saying, why me? Why me? And just screaming that out.
He felt like he didn't want to play with me because he thought he was going to catch it. He thought he was going to catch it. And he didn't think so because I told him he believes me all the time. And she thought, well, it's okay. I'll still play with him, but not as much.
I felt sorry for him, and everybody agreed not to hit him real hard.
He'll hit me, but not that hard. All of these kids will hit me, but not that hard.
Monday night, I think it is. They're going to give me all my radiation. They're going to kill off all my bone marrow, so I want half. And then they're going to take my brother's bone marrow and just give that to me, so I'll just be being reborn, kind of. And I won't have any more cancer.
I made these from scratch this morning.
No, it's so thick.
I didn't have any mix.
It's nice and thick.
Yeah.
It's got lots of sugar in it, too.
Well, these are really different. This is a new recipe. Hey, Jimmy!
Take your finger off.
He wants to eat the batter. I don't think anybody's going to want pancakes after Jimmy's finished.
Want me to put some milk on the table?
Yeah, there's no place for it.
All right, now there's room, okay? When Jimmy was 5 years old, in the middle of the night one night, he came into my room, and he said that his legs were so sore he just couldn't walk. And this went on for, a month or so, and he kept running a temperature, so I took him into the doctor's, and they said at first that he had the flu, but he wasn't getting any better, so finally I said, you got to see this child again, he's not getting any better. By this time, he was really ill. I mean, he was hemorrhaging, so I practically knew what he had. So the doctor said, well, you have to take him to the hospital tonight, and we have to give him transfusion and so on. And I said, I says, gee, how can I leave him at the hospital? This child's never been away from me, you know. And so I went home and I said to Jimmy, Jimmy, we have to take you to the hospital. And I says, they're going to do a lot of things to you in the hospital, but they'll explain everything to you, and you'll know exactly what's going on. And he looked at me and he says, I'm going to die, my mother, you know. And I says, no. I says, if you don't go to the hospital, you may die. But if you go to the hospital, you'll be all right. They'll cure the leukemia.
you know, like at first I got real mad. Since he's gonna have to have, you know, all these treatments and everything, I probably won't see much of him, so that made me mad. 'Cause, you know, me and him were always playing and everything, 'cause there's nothing else to do. But then after a while, I kind of got used to the idea that I'm gonna have a brother with cancer. I started to think why, you know, he'd be the one with cancer instead of me. And then, you know, as soon as I took a guess why it was him, then, well, it's because, well, really, I thought he had cancer for some kind of reason. Like, God gave it to him, you know, to put someone through a test or something.
They've been very, very close, you know. Of course, there's only a 1.5 year difference in their ages. And when they were younger, people did confuse them for twins.
Right.
Of course, you can say there's a big difference now, but possibly in a few years, why, Jimmy can catch up again.
I want to be an astronaut the most. I promised myself I was going to be that. That was to get away from all the girls. See, because can't no girl be an astronaut. That's the rule. It's a good thing to want to be an astronaut. And it's bad because you got to stay up there all those days by yourself. And it's good because you have other people, which is bad because you can't watch no cartoons. So, it's an okay job. I was going to be a garbage man, but smells. And plus you have to go and pick up everybody's garbage, and I don't want to do that. I hate to even take out my own garbage. So I know I can't do that. So that's the only thing I want to be. Was an astronaut. Yeah, better take this into my mom. If I had one wish, it'd be for all the money in the world. My second wish would be to get rid of my leukemia. My third wish would be, well, it'd be a nice house for all of us. I don't want to grow up. Might get better, might get sick, I might die. So mostly I just say I want to stay little, but I can't because I want to be an astronaut. You got to be big to be that. So I just look at it as a fact.
Black-eyed peas and rice, right?
How you spell black-eyed peas?
We put BP.
What else?
The sugar, the black-eyed peas, the ground beef, the neck bones, the turkey wings, right?
How you spell turkey wing?
T-U-R-K. Randy.
Let me have a piece.
Okay, get the lettuce, the bean sprouts, and tomatoes, and scallion, and celery. That's it.
What's BP? What's this? BP?
Black-eyed peas.
I didn't know how to tell my kids at first. When I first found out, I knew he had leukemia. I didn't know it was cancer. It might sound strange this day and time, but I didn't know it. And my sister came down to visit me, and she was talking to the doctor, and she says, "What's the chance of cure for Denard's cancer?" And I go, "Cancer?" Just hit me right there. My son have cancer? I look at cancer as having another baby. Instead of having 4 children, I have 5. Because we have to live with cancer, to deal with it. You nurse it. It's just like you take care of it. It's like another mouth you have to feed.
Come on in.
It's expensive because the nurse eating habits are different. Running back and forth to the hospital, it's like having another child in the family. That's how I deal with it. No, can afford it too expensive. How much is this? How much is this?
This is £1.
Go find out how much it is so I know what you're going to say. When Denard was first diagnosed, I would lay in my bed, you know, after my son have cancer. I would be afraid to go to sleep at night. You know, I had this fear of that, put him in bed with me. Like, he'll start bleeding in the middle of the night, and I wouldn't know it because I wouldn't be there because he did it before. Like he'll have had chemotherapy, and his counts would be low, and he'll turn over and bump it. You know, kids are like this. Or he'll lay on his hand like this, his plates are low, he'll just bleed all over the place. I wake up, the pillows all sopped with blood, and I get up. If I would have, you know, I should have checked on him. That fear, I think a mother never, you know, you'll never adjust to nothing like that. You'll never adjust. We never adjust to death. We learn to live with it. I don't think when people really adjust to it. I don't.
First of all, I thought, where are they going to bury me? And how is it in heaven? And if I'm going to go to heaven. And if there is one. And I was just scared. I was just scared, is it going to hurt when I die? Can I just die, fall asleep, and never wake up? And that's how I felt. I was just scared that I'd never see nobody again. And I would want, there's a lot of things I wanted to tell my mom. Okay. And just to talk with her and be with her, but then she'd never hear me or see me or know I'm there.
Naturally, I couldn't believe it. I almost refused to accept it. And by that, I mean, just for a minute or two, I realized it was there. I mean, the best people were telling me that, but I kept finding it hard to believe. And in the back of my mind, I kept saying, hey, they're going to come back and say, hey, it was a bad test and so forth and so on, but naturally it never happened.
And the disease that she has is a bad one. The acute myelogenous leukemia is the kind of leukemia that used to be considered uniformly to be fatal. Until very recently, the best we had to offer anyone was a period of time from a few months to probably, on the average, the longest was about a year and a half.
Does it feel all right?
We are now able to do a little better than that, we think. We can, with the treatment that Diana is currently receiving, we hope that maybe up to 50% of those kids may be able to be cured of their disease.
2, 3,
Keep your leg back.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, before, like, I used to just think I was really something big, you know? I used to just act around, you know, wiggle when I walk and stuff. Like, if somebody was walking funny or tripped, I used to just crack up. Oh, look at that stupid person, you know? And now if somebody trips, I feel sorry for them.
I'm getting tired.
I appreciate people more. Like,
Ready?
My friend Anita, she had cancer in her leg and had to have her leg amputated.
That's fine. Once you get started, then you can try looking up a little bit. Keep your body straight. That's right. Think of a string pulling you right up straight.
I don't think I'd ever want to have an amputated leg. I'd rather have leukemia. Because then after I have leukemia, then, you know, I'll be my old self again. Losing your hair is bad enough.
That's really good, Anita. I don't see how you can do it. Thank you. I don't want to go any higher. My wig will blow off. It won't blow off because we went to San Francisco.
And I had long, beautiful hair and stuff. And it was just, oh, God, don't tell me I'm going to lose my hair like she is, you know. Because I thought everybody was just, ew, you know, when they lose their hair. And I just kept saying, why can't I die? Let me die right now. Just let me die and go away. I'm not going to get better. Sometimes I just wanted to kill myself right away. Just yank the IV out or something so I wouldn't have to suffer through all the pain. One pain after another. I was hardly ever out of pain. 3rd-degree burns on my foot, then the esophagus trouble, then the mouth sores, then the rash in my mouth, which made my gums turn white and my tongue turn white, and just all kinds of things. I really felt bad, but now I don't believe I'm going to die. And there was this thing that said, if you don't believe, you're going to die, and if you fight your disease, then you're going to live. So that's what I'm going to try to do.
All right!
They started hitting him and stuff. They didn't know that he had leukemia until I told them. Then they started laughing and rubbing his head. Because, see, he was like this, but a little lower. And they used to run by and take the top of his hat off and run with it, keep it.
They call him chicken and stuff.
Skinhead.
Crystal ball.
They make him cry because he didn't feel good. A whole bunch of kids like to beat him up and pick on him because they knew that he had leukemia and he didn't know how to fight. And so I used to bully them for bullying him. Some I got after school, and some I got before school, and some I got in school. I mostly pray for him that he wouldn't die, and he haven't, and I'm glad. Cause that's the only friend I got now.
Okay, you ready to play?
I know what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna squeeze
Let
out.
me do this. Let me do this. I'm gonna do. Okay.
Good girl, T-Spirit here. Okay. Come on, hey, move it, guys. Move it. Move it. Move it. I got it.
Well, you go from the depths when he's in a relapse, and then when he's back into remission again, you almost forget about it, except that you know that he has to show up periodically for treatments, and it's always hanging over your head. But there are times, you know, when we've almost led a normal life.
I see it.
Oh, I get the black. Yeah.
That's where you're heading for. That's where you gotta go. That's where you want to go. Okay. Right for it, Jimbo.
I guess
Oh,
I
boy.
should start.
Now, right between those two ducks.
Hey,
Bird.
May, where are you going? Wait. That's okay, I won't wreck it.
Can I count on that?
Harry can't count on that.
It's that black boy now. Yeah, if we missed it the first time, we'll get it this time. Hey, that's enough. You figured out your compass heading yet, where you're going? I'm a stockbroker. I invest other people's money for a living. And there have been times when it's been difficult to concentrate on my job instead of and get my mind off Jimmy. And there have been other times when, you know, especially when Jimmy was doing well, then, you know, we always had that hope that maybe this is that time, you know, when he's not going to have a relapse. And here it is 5 years later, and we're going down for a transplant, you know, hopefully to effect a cure.
The operation, well, Jim has leukemia, that's cancer of the blood. And the bone marrow is something in your bone that produces your blood. And he has a bad bone marrow, which produces bad blood. So my bone marrow's good, of course, because I don't have leukemia. And so we're gonna have a transplant where they take the bone marrow out of me and give it to him, so my bone marrow will produce good blood into him, and he'll no longer have leukemia.
Have you tried something else to try to cure it? Or is it the first time?
No, we've tried a lot of things, and I've kept on having a relapse. So this is the only way that they know how to cure it.
Is your brother saying yes, or is he just saying?
He doesn't really mind it, I don't think. Because he's going to be asleep when he gets all his stuff. Except when he wakes up, he's going to feel like he got kicked by a mule. At least that's what the doctor said.
Will you be glad it's over?
Yeah.
Will you get your hair back after that, and all your regrowths and your leg will get better and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Jim?
If this operation doesn't work, can they do anything else to help it?
No.
This is your last hope?
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's going to work. It's worked for everybody else and they've tried it.
ABC News Close-Up will continue in a moment.
When I grow up, I want to have a husband and kids, and I love animals, and I just want to have a lot of animals, a lot of kids. And I probably want to be a nurse because they help people. In the beginning, like, I didn't like the nurses because they kept forcing me to do things. But then after a while, they were really nice, and they just did it for my own good. So I think when I grow up, I probably want to help kids. You want to put it on this? Oh, you're
No, just put it on tray.
And probably if I get married, then I quit my nursing job and stuff. But I just want to be a nurse for a little while.
2x2s or 4x4s?
2x2s, probably.
Okay. It's hard to breathe in these.
Mm-hmm. Think we'd be used to them now, huh?
Yeah.
I'd hate to have to do an operation for, like the doctors do for so many hours. Oh, that looks really good. This doesn't even get sore anymore, does it?
No.
still makes me nervous when you have this. I keep thinking you're going to get bumped or something, you know.
But when I get bumped, it doesn't hurt me.
Okay.
The thing I'm most happy about is that I'm living, that I have a boyfriend, and I have more friends, and I appreciate life a lot more now than I did before. Yeah, Darren's really nice, and he's very tall and skinny. No, he's really nice. And he doesn't treat me like I'm sick. He knows I have a wig, and I would have told him even if he didn't know. I tell him everything.
Do hot caramel nutty nutties.
Do hot caramel nutty nutties.
And hold the whipped cream on one of them.
Lots of times I scare Darren, and like when he was helping me push my IV pole when he came and visited me, I go, oh God, I pull my catheter, help. And he started, you know, like almost crying and bursting into tears. And I go, no, I'm just kidding, I'm just false alarm, you know.
Should I play left-handed or right-handed?
But lots of times I just say, hey, I can do this, you know, I'm a fighter. You know, I can walk, I can run, I can eat, I can do anything, you name it, I'll do it.
Hey, crowd. Yeah? Are you ready? Forward, to rock, rockwood, rock steady. All right. Hey, crowd. Yeah? Are you ready? Forward, to rock, rockwood, rock steady. All right.
My kids were so young, I was blessed because they didn't really understand the heartaches of it all. His being sick didn't impact on them as much as it did me. Randy, I think, have had the worst impact of it. I think Randy dealt with it.
When I draw you a picture from school, all you did is put it down your dresser, then it got stepped on and stuff. And you just picked the knots up and put it on top of the dresser, took mine and threw it in the trash.
So what you're telling me is that I think the dark things are more important. You're probably right, Randy. Somewhere off in my mind, I probably do cherish the dark things more. Because I'm afraid of cancer. I'm afraid that someday the dark might die. And I want to have special things that I can remember him by, Randy. I don't know how to explain it to you, Randy, but I think if I keep everything that the dark have given me, I guess maybe in my mind, the back of my mind, without knowing, I think that I'm going to remember him well. If he died, I can say, I can tell people this is what my son did, you know, and maybe through that I've looked over the point that your stuff is just as important. To me, your stuff is just as important as Denard's is.
I think life mostly is like, it's like a game show. Wheel of Fortune, you know, it goes round and round and round. Wherever you stop at, that's just you. You know, life is no fun like this because you don't get to do anything. And then you figure as you grow up, people are just going to keep on saying, no, you can't do that because you might get sick again. No, you can't do that. Well, I just think of it as, I think of cancer as a internal prison. The key to getting out mostly is a lot of shots, a lot of drugs, to keep cool, to be nice, and just sit tight and wait.
Push the chemotherapy that he gets first, and then we're going to hook him up to the bottle of fluids and run them in for a little while so he gets some...
Sure, hook me up to anything. Go ahead, you don't mind. I'm gonna get out of here one day, watch.
Okay.
When I get out of here, I'm gonna be a doctor.
Okay.
You're gonna come to my doctor's office and never leave, watch.
Okay. Never leave?
Never.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. You don't buy me a toy, just do me one other thing. Sit on him.
Denard has a leukemia we call acute myelogenous leukemia, AML. And this is not as common as acute lymphocytic leukemia, but is more difficult for us to treat. Denard's done very well in that he's almost 3 years in his first remission. On the average, we would expect 80% of children with AML to get into a bone marrow remission, but unfortunately only about 20 to 25% would maintain that remission out 3 to 4 years with their disease. So he's done quite well.
Like, sometimes I feel like you just want to go jump in a river or something. And then sometimes you just get very depressed and I go in my room and hide out. Most of the time, I get very mad at myself because it keeps me from doing a lot of things that I want to do. And like when you tell somebody that I got cancer, everybody goes like, wow, stay away from him and stuff like that.
What is your name?
So it's not great. I get very angry at myself, too. I think that I'm the one who caused it, and I say, why me? You know, can it be anybody else? Like that.
We would like you to join us for dinner. Come by at 8.
But I'm unhappy when I'm not having chemotherapy. I'm happy when I am having it. Because, you know, it's like a sense of security that I know that I'm doing the best and everybody else knows I'm doing the best.
Well, what advice are you going to give this guy over here? He's going to be in the hospital, and he may have some rough times. Are there things you want to tell the kids that you learned when you were sick?
Well, it's been a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
First I get sick, and then I get this, and then... I don't know. I usually find out it's very hard to get involved with things after you haven't been doing very much. Some things always seem to bore me now that I've been through this.
Is there anything that you do that works for you that could help Jimmy when he's in the hospital?
I lie down. Mm-hmm. I lie down. That eases the pain. And I just let the thoughts run through my mind, because and what else is there going to do? You can't stop them. And I wait till they go through. It may take an hour, it may take 45 minutes, it may take 10 minutes. Back today I had to leave school because I was in one of those bad moods. I wasn't expecting it to come up. It comes up without me knowing it. And I had to leave school because I just couldn't take it. I couldn't stay at school.
What do you feel like, Eric, when this happens? Do you have pain in any particular place?
Yeah, I've got aches all over, and they get worse. And many things slip through my mind.
Could you share with Eric some of the things that help you in the hospital? What are some things that help you when you're going through rough times?
I even think of something nice, like after I have my transplant, and it usually makes me feel better. I just try to get into a game or something and make me forget about it. When I wasn't going there, I thought I was the only one that had cancer. There was only like one of me in the world, and I didn't know that there's all these other people. And I used to always think about everything, and then when I went to the center, I found out that there was a lot of other people like me, and they just helped me relax and go through it a lot easier. It says dead bad cells.
And we won, and you can.